People are already leaving. Excellent. Hey everyone, before we dive into this, I have two quick clarifications to make. Firstly, I don't have a clicker. Okay, it wasn't a rude word, I said clicker. Firstly, I don't have a clicker, so there's that. And secondly, there may be some confusion as to whether to call me Chucky, Tolqueen, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Call me what you want. I answer the girl as well, as long as it's not it. Okay, we're good. Clarifying. And now the TEDx voice. I often tell my friends that if there was another one of me, I would probably kill them. They often laugh and say that they'd help me do the honors because clearly one of these is more than enough. And the reason is that basically in an old Western cliché, house, this stage, this island is not big enough for the two of us. Now, admittedly, at the very beginning, our selfies would probably dominate social media and would be everywhere. But the inevitable case is that he's going to be killed. And that's because, in an almost evolutionary sense, the person that you see standing before you today has grown, changed, and developed to become, well, all of this. It's kind of like how the kiwi bird grew up to be more mammalian, or the wombat has a digestive system that poops perfect cubes. I've been watching a lot of Australian nature documentaries. But it's fine. So while I evolved, changed, and adapted to become this big wig-wearing, loud-laughing hunk of a human, hunk as in a large slice, not as in sexy man, you have danced on the high moments in your life and kind of pushed through all the low ones to form a unique wave pattern of personality that is specifically just for you. And that is super important for us to recognize because we don't do enough of it. Now, the problem is we live in a world that's constantly telling you to be yourself while telling you how to be the yourself that they want you to be. So it can be extremely difficult to find the alleyway, the niche that makes sense for you. But since this is a TEDx talk, I'm here to give you an industry secret that's so secret because I literally made it up myself. But in the vein of the nature documentaries we were discussing earlier, one of the best things you can do is to, at all times throughout your life, pretend that you're being narrated by David Attenborough. Clarification, I also suck at doing impressions, but we're going to do it anyway. The wild Chucky Bartolo turned to drag as a natural change. He always enjoyed art, but didn't have the patience to paint. He had a feminine side and a masculine side. He was also quite arrogant, David Rude. But the arrogance meant that the glitz and the glamour of drag made sense to him. One day he found an industrial-sized roll of duct tape, and the rest is a painful, haven't peed for 5 hours history. Now, I really do encourage you to do this all the time. Maybe don't go full method with the voice. That might be a bit much. People might start looking at you a bit more. But it is important to realize, why are we as a nation, as an international community, so obsessed with how cool an amoeba is? Why is that krill gets a 3-day special on the Discovery Channel? And we just go, no, we're not that special. We're just part of the system. We're part of the machine. Girl, as it says right there, you are cooler than krill. You are. That's a promise I can make to you. Also, you're more interesting than square wombat poo. Maybe just as interesting. That's pretty cool. So you have to be careful when you say that. But I know this may not be the affirmation that you came for when you came to a TEDx event. There were a lot more highbrow explanations of it before me. But girl, you are cooler than that. And it's very important for us to recognize this. And the difference between knowing that you're just as cool as a sea organism and believing it is huge. And that's a problem because of the way society has now made us feel. But just like Wendy Williams on a slow news day, I'm going to invent another secret to help you out. And that is, if you're looking to find who you really are, shove yourself into drag. You won't be as pretty as this, I'm warning you. But it's something that's really important to do. Since we are at an event of TEDx, it's like all about finding yourself. But I appreciate that we all don't have the budget to go on a month to India. We have, jobs, family. It's hard to find ourselves. But if there's one quick tip I can give you for a power gap year, it's a power short one, is to put yourself through the pain and the torture and the fun that you see in front of you today. It's the reason, she loved it. It's the main reason that so many straight guys are obsessed with doing it every carnival and Halloween. No matter what the theme is, you're gonna find them in heels they stole from their mother, and like a lipstick they accidentally found somewhere, and some ugly fishnets, and they always do it. And that's because for one night only, they get to just be something else, be themselves without the restrictions, because society takes a break from judging you on Halloween and Carnival, and everyone else can just breathe. And it's great, and you should all do it. The pain, you get over it very quickly, I promise. That's a lie. Whenever I do interviews, particularly dressed like this, I'm always asked the same question about my character of Tolqueen. And I always happily correct that it's not a character. The person you see before you is not some joke, some off-season version of Panto where people aren't shouting, "He's behind you," when the guy at the club is coming too close. It's none of that. It's just an extension of my person, my being. It's my feminine side come to light. It's my obsession with the Lord of the Rings come through. It's the way I have evolved, hence the ears. That makes sense now, she gets it. Tolqueen, Tolkien, genius. Anyway, the point is, it's an extension of many parts of me that have grown, that have changed, that have evolved to fill in certain niches within my persona that needed to be filled. And then, because drag is so big and it's so developed, it kind of helped me fill up other personal, environmental biomes that I had shut off because I didn't want to deal with them. And drag helped me accept this because it let me see that a small quirk about myself can take you to some huge places if you trust it. And that's why I encourage everyone to do it. And I can see that some people here, particularly the one at the back who's napping, aren't convinced of the uniqueness. You look at someone, I don't want to sound like I'm blowing my own trumpet, but you look at someone like me being like, "Be yourself," and you're like, "Easy for you, you're wearing 7 kilos of hair." But the reason is, it's so important for us to understand just how unique we are. So I have a bit of maths that's gonna help us figure it out, sorry. But we're going to get a bit technical for a second. So say every single person in this space, in the world, can only react to a situation in 52 given ways. Now, this is a massive exaggeration, because I have 52 reactions to cheese alone. So, fair enough. But let's say it was limited to just 52. And everyone just has a different random order of how to react. When I was asked to do the TED Talk, I got excited, and then I was happy, and then I panicked, and then I started to work, blah, blah, blah. The person in the front probably got very excited, and then got horny, and then decided to work, and then hated it. The guy who's napping at the back might have thought, "I don't care, I really don't care, I hate this guy, I guess I'll go." Just a different sequence, which means every single person's reaction to any given situation is like a randomly shuffled deck of cards, which may not seem like a big deal, but to those who understand maths, a randomly shuffled deck of cards is extremely unique. So say that we had, now this is from the internet, so try and follow along, okay? If I get it wrong, don't come for me in the comments. Say we have 1 billion computers. Each one of those billion computers has 1 billion programs inside them. Each one of these billion programs runs 1 billion emulators that have 1 trillion shuffling things that shuffle 1 pack of cards 1 trillion times every nanosecond. That's 1 billion second. I lost half of you. It's a huge number, billions upon billions upon billions times billions. If this computer was doing this constantly, it would take 2.5 years till they repeated 1 pack of cards. So whenever I say, "Listen, you are more important than krill, you're cooler than krill," remember that this is if we only have 52 emotions, and there are way more. So your uniqueness is important. It really is. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Uniqueness doesn't mean, "Oh my God, he's wearing elf ears and looks great as a woman, thank you." Be small things that just help other people understand who they are and help you understand who you are. Do not let the tiny shuffling robots from my elaborate metaphor down. Understand your importance in this world. Take your power gap ya and grab life by the duct tape. Thank you very much.